following message is being transmitted at the request of the Boundless PodTrap movie review and the guys of the BPT. What you are about to hear contains spoilers to movies. If you don't want to hear these spoilers, please disengage your listening device at this time. If you can't handle those with a possible differing view on a movie, you may also want to disengage your listening device at this time. Stay tuned for a movie review that only the guys at the Boundless PodTrap can give you.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Welcome back, everybody. Well, welcome, guys.
You were talking to them, not us.
Oh,
It's fair.
well, welcome back, all of you, collectively. What's happening?
Punch you in your mouth.
Well, I feel like I have more of a. Yeah, Lonnie is actually tuning in
From Indonesia.
Yes. How you doing?
Sweatshops needed help this year.
He's in Bali.
Bali.
In those areas. There is actually a character for this movie that we haven't disclosed just yet, but you know who it is. His name is Wasapi. Oh, Wasapi.
What's happening?
Played by Stormy Kip. Let's just move straight into it. This movie review, fuck, what is this? Episode 23 movie review? We are reviewing 2022's. That needs to be louder.
We're
Wrote
real
that
on
one down.
point today, if you can tell.
Let's try that again. 2022's Prey.
Oh, that was pretty nice.
Excuse you. Gross.
This is the newer movie that's tucked into. This is a tucky into the Predator franchise. Aren't you guys excited?
You are, because you're wearing a shirt that
Yeah, I
has
see
Predator
that.
on
That's-
it.
I always wear shirts.
Well, not normally around me.
Oh, not on your movie set.
Yeah, I know. He was topless on this last one, too. But anyways,
Hey, we'll get to that later.
yeah.
Not by choice.
I'm back, by the way, guys. It's cool. Was that for me?
For
So,
the topless and the.
yeah, John,
and for the
John is
German.
back, and
Lonnie's
Lonnie's in prison because he was the one that assaulted John.
facts.
Is Lonnie even...
I mean,
Why you do that? Why you do that, Lonnie?
I gotta get on a plane in 5 hours. I live an hour and a half away from the studio. It would be like a 3-hour trip there and back.
Sounds like you're censoring
I
yourself.
figured, fuck it, I'll record at home. This way I can have my dick out.
It's true. We're in the Discord right now, and we're doing some video chatting, and I can see his dick right now.
Oh,
I don't know if he got it.
dick.
He's probably not going to hear any of these sound effects we're doing. We're trying things a little bit different. Since Lonnie has his little court date he has to tend to. And we'll go
We'll
from
get
there.
into my face next week.
Yes.
So
Not literally.
Or whenever these things come out.
Whenever these come out. And-
What is happening?
what, Lonnie? This Discord thing is a trial by fire
Yeah.
for sure.
It's
Well,
working.
I turned on the cricket. Using the cricket as a mic.
Not the
Your
sound effect, but
your
the,
microphone is the cricket machine. That explains why it sounds so weird.
You're probably out
I
of minutes.
don't have a mic.
Wait.
Don't have a mic stand at home, so I don't know if you know what a cricket machine. All you 1%ers who do, there's
His-
like a pocket in it. You're supposed to put your tools in. I have the mic down in that pocket.
Right.
I
Your
accidentally keep
threaders.
adjusting
Yeah. Right
I
on.
don't know how much
the
of this
on
like
and off button.
You have to open up the cricket. There's like a little needle in there, and he's talking from the microphone that's in that. What?
and
Anyways, we'll get more into this here. So,
movie do we have?
Prey, 2022's Prey. This, for me, has been a
Hey.
pretty fun ride, I guess. I'll go ahead and start off with my
Glad
review.
you enjoyed.
Was this your movie?
This was my movie review.
Okay. I forgot. Like I said, I was gone, so I forgot who was picking what at this point.
Yes. He was unconscious at that time. So
Pretty close.
he was a little drugged up.
Saw some
Leaking eye
oxys.
juice.
Yeah. So this is the prequel to the original Predator movie that back in 1987 or so.
Or 2 centuries.
Yeah. But overall, I really liked it. There's a few things CGI wise that could have been way better. But the movie,
to say the least, we'll get into that.
yeah, the story I thought was great. Young man.
Yeah, I'm just being a dick.
No.
I missed you guys.
No, the story I thought was good. It goes right along with the whole Predator franchise, or at least like the idea of what the Yautja, the Predators. Predator, you'll hear me say Yautja a lot because that is what the species of Predator is called, is the Yautja species. We just know them commonly as Predator, or the Predators. I did kind of fuck up last time when I said this is going to be a Halloween movie. It's kind of like a borderline Halloween movie since it's more...
Shut your mouth.
It can be horror,
It
but
is
it's
not.
more sci-fi.
No.
It's more heavier on the sci-fi because it's an alien.
This is an action movie. What the fuck are you?
Yeah.
And it was awesome.
There was action.
It came out with the CGI in this. You could call it an animated movie too.
It wasn't that bad, was it? Anyways, so my rating, I would probably have to give it a 9.5.
Get
Cool
out
World
of
had less
here.
animation.
You were right. You said a perfect 10.
Oh my God.
No, there's some things that could be fixed with this.
Apparently not much if you're giving it a
Like a
9
fucking match.
point.
So you guys didn't like it?
So I'm going to go with mine. So I have not, the only other Predator movie I've seen was the very first one. And that was probably when it first came out and I was like 6 years old. Don't remember much about it. Started watching this movie and I quickly kind of realized probably why I haven't watched the other Predator in many years, because I could not get into this movie for the life of me. I was on my cell phone more than I was watching because I tried. I really tried. I thought the storyline was very boring.
It was very basic.
lackluster. I felt like I was just watching a Native American go hunting on like CMT or something like that. It was
Why
very,
it gotta be CMT?
it was very back and forth. The CGI sucked. The only points that this movie is getting from me is due to the gore in it, because I thought it was pretty gory and I thought some of the kills were pretty neat. So with that being said, I am giving this a 3. And also a ho!
We don't do that here.
Yes, we do.
My turn?
Was that his war cry?
Yes.
Would have made more sense.
There was a war cry.
Lonnie, you want to go or you want me to?
I mean, hey, sure. I even liked Predator 2. That's how much I wanted to. Sakes, this was a
Wait, did you just give
only thing that
Did you just give a rating?
only thing that kept me in this movie is the lead actress looked enough like Aubrey Plaza. That I had a
This was
bonus.
Aubrey Plaza looking for Booker T. I swear to God. That's what I thought this whole movie was.
I had mild erection through most of the movie. So
100%.
Other than that, God, the CGI was awful. I respect the gore in it, but the gore was so bad.
You cut out.
Most of it was CGI and a spectacle of fucking garbage.
He's censoring himself.
Seen local movies with better CGI than that.
Especially that bear.
The bear is the big
The
thing.
bear and the fucking mountain lion.
There
Oh
was-
my God.
There was a bear in this movie.
Well, if you looked up from your phone,
Oh.
Yeah, I mean his name was Wasabi.
that was the
From
what's
Kip.
happening?
Wasabi?
That was the dude she decked a few times. Anyways, what was your rating?
Oh, for the Audrey Plaza thing, I'd give it a 3.
Wow.
I don't think your rating came through that entire time, but we'll roll with it.
It was a 3. He said a 3.
Well, I got the 3, but
No, I got the 3, but we're
His
talking about
description,
his
his
review.
review, sorry.
His review.
He said something inappropriate about Audrey Plaza. That's
I mean, that's all that needs to be said. I thought the same thing. I even put that in the notes. I was like, Native American Aubrey Plaza, ? Looking for Booker T. That's what I thought this movie was the whole time.
Tell
Again,
me you
like
didn't just say
Jeremy, Hogan. Native American, I'm coming for you.
It's fucked up, guys. It's fucked up.
Like Jeremy, I no bullshit. 30 minutes in, I paused and went and jerked off. Probably because of the Aubrey.
Wait, I
Plaza
never
thing.
said I jerked off.
No, I had trouble getting into it. I really did at first. And it wasn't until they were captured by the fur trappers, which we'll get into that in a minute, that that like whole 30-minute thing that from there on was pretty intense because that was a lot of violence and gore, like you said. But the CGI was so bad. And I get it. It's a Hulu movie. Like, apparently you don't have the same budget as fucking Netflix, apparently. But it was hard to follow. At the end, I really didn't care. It was like, honestly, the storyline reminded me of Moana. Like, I don't, like, it just was all over the place.
It was an extra violent Pocahontas.
Yeah. And so I will be
think you
nicer
said-
than the boys. I think he said it was an extra violent Pocahontas.
That's what I heard. Yeah.
But I'm going to give it a 4.
God, you're so fucking gracious.
Jeez.
And it's only because of that 30-minute scene. Like that 30 minutes where he just fucked up the entire crew. And
Yeah. When he actually revealed himself. There's usually a reveal in
like
almost
Jeremy
all
said, a
Predator
lot
movies.
of the kills was fucking awesome. Like I like
That gives us a BPT rating of 5. Damn. I thought you guys were going to come a little bit higher with this.
Well, John did, and then after he paused it.
It made me the maddest about this movie is Dan Trachtenberg, not even related to Michelle Trachtenberg. I didn't even.
To who? This is going to be a problem.
We're gonna have to fix this for the next podcast.
Or is like, Lonnie, you're very
Cut outy.
strobe. You're like,
It sounds like you're censoring yourself. You sound like a TBS movie.
Fans are going to love this.
So let's talk about, since we all mentioned it, the shoddy CGI.
So the bear, and I didn't really see the mountain lion as being too bad. The bear was really rough. That
was super
Yes.
rough. And also, none of these animals act like they would in nature. Like the bear's not going to like run up a hill and try to get you. Like,
oh, they will.
I mean, eventually, but they're not going to stop in the middle of a meal and go find another meal. You know what I mean? Like all the animal.
If you're a threat, which kind of is the
point of this movie.
Yes.
I get that.
which I thought was kind of interesting because the bear was not necessarily a threat either, but was one of the first people or things, animals, beings that kind of saw her as a threat since she was kind of firing at it, but everybody else was kind of like side passing her. But continue.
Yeah, that bear was terrible. I mean, I just don't think that, as a guy who goes to the zoo and he reads all about animals all the time, like none of these animals would act the way they did, especially the lion. And the lion like roars, which mountain lions don't even roar. They like screech actually more than roar. So I don't know. There's a lot of factual issues we can get into about that tribe specifically not even being that far north.
National
ever.
Geographics will give this a low rating as well.
They'd be like, what the fuck is this shit?
Yes.
Like, who made this?
There's not a
Lonnie?
yellow Tatsu.
And Trachtenberg, who isn't even related to Michelle Trachtenberg.
Why did Lonnie's video go away?
Lonnie's talking about.
To find ways to make.
No, that's not working.
So
Yeah, after the
I think Lonnie's talking about Dan Fogelberg. Did he do the soundtrack to this?
jeez. So yeah, after the predator fought there was like a little hand-in-hand combat with the bear, and
Yeah, that was kind of weird.
taking on a brown bear, like ooh, those things are what? How much does a brown bear weigh, John?
2 tons.
Okay. I'll allow it. But yeah, he scanned our main actress, and he's like, she came up like a bitch, I guess. It's like, nope, not a threat. Let's go into like the actress.
I was wrong.
Yeah.
It's 1,300 pounds.
1,300.
Yeah.
Close enough. So Amber Midthunder, who plays Naru in this, who is like our lead actress, I thought she did an awesome job.
Native American Aubrey Plaza.
Yes. And then she has in the movie, which is her brother Dakota Beavers, who plays Tabe.
Best name ever.
Dakota Beavers. Yeah. There was a pun on that in this movie, which I thought was kind of funny.
You were probably the only one to get it too.
Because we fell
Sure.
asleep.
I mean, you guys think I'm joking? I knew there was a bear scene in it I don't remember a mountain lion. That's how
That was the kill.
of the movie I was.
That's how she like falls over for. Also, this bitch has a concussion.
Yeah, she
She's
goes
gotten hit
down.
yeah, she falls off that tree, then she gets hit in the face with that like butt of the rifle. Like, oh my god!
Also,
They're trying to.
And Predator fucking.
her
Also, if we're being honest, if that girl came on that hunting trip, they would make her a TP and stick it in her wigwam.
What, I don't get what a wigwam is.
is that written in your notes?
Yes.
Is that Comanche for? Is that Comanche for?
I'll tell you.
Really would have
Comanche.
made her a TP.
The other thing about it that really was just I wasn't buying into it was her and her hatchet and her skills with that. It's like, no, I don't care if you tie a rope to your hatchet. It ain't going to fly back into
Especially
your hand.
that
Especially to her
rope.
hand. Yeah. That wasn't realistic, and especially learning the skill, like you just unlocked a skill. Like it was very video game-ish.
Yeah.
I thought it was a good idea to implement, but like if you have to an alien crashed to Earth and is now hunting some of the better people, I guess, for game. So you kind of have to suspend your reality.
No.
Because there's an alien in this.
No, I'm not suspending nothing with this movie.
Anyways, so Dane DeLiegro, he's the guy who played the Predator. He was an Italian guy playing the Predator. Most of the people were of Indian or Native American backgrounds, except for like the Frenchmen, which they probably weren't.
There's
all.
an Italian guy in this movie.
The Predator, the feral
The guy
Yautja.
playing the Predator.
Yeah, he was a basketball player. He was
I mean, there was an actual real person that wasn't all just CGI.
no, that was real.
Oh,
Yeah, and it was
Speaking
good.
of the CGI, when he is in the water, like when he walks, there's splashing, but when he's staying there, there's no like ripple, like his feet are in the water. Is he just like hovering above the water? Like the CGI department needs to be fucking fired for this movie.
this is probably like the first time Hulu took on CGI.
That's true. I mean, they
There's
usually
like
do
a
like
what?
family friendly. Actually, Hulu has some pretty good movies, but
I
There's
did
some good horror movies.
when it comes to, I guess,
I haven't
even
seen
like
their
the other
horror movies,
animals,
I
like there
guess.
was a snake that kind of, because snakes do kind of also have like the
why did they skin the snake?
thermal. I don't know, for
There was
food.
like no point.
That was my favorite part, honestly, when they came across the skinned snake and it was like still moving.
Oh yeah.
It's like, that's good.
Yeah, that was.
Sometimes they still have life in them yet. But yeah,
Sorry, go ahead.
I like how they started off setting it up that I guess in the tribes, the tribal people back in the day, even some people these days too, where they go on their hunt, their katamiya, the big hunt. It's kind of a rite of passage, and for like the guys, that's what is more acceptable.
Right.
For the women, like you have your place in your sexual hierarchy or so. Like the women are supposed to tend to the families and raise the young and
Like
go
the
collect
mom
and
was like
yeah.
she basically didn't even leave that 50 by 50 square foot in that camp, basically.
And she Naru, she knows that she's capable of hunting, and the reason that why she wants to hunt is because everybody tells her that she can't. So she makes it more of a challenge. Like she has to do this. She has to take her katamiya, and choosing as I guess the Predator, the Yautja, as her katamiya, like her big hunt, was very ambitious to say the least.
Yeah.
Let's go to Lonnie for a choppy update. Lonnie?
Choppy choppy pee pee.
Are you with us, Lonnie?
Every third word I can't hear.
This is going to be rough.
Literally had my phone in my hand to message you guys. Say I can only hear every third word.
Well, that was the most we've heard from you.
But I feel what I'm taking from this. What
Have you
I
tried
heard,
Discord from your phone?
something about the movie, or he
Now it sounds like you're just saying
wanted to be a
vowels.
guy, wanted to be part of the boys' club.
Yeah.
He, he's a strong female character. I'll give
She
her
is a
that.
strong, it was a very strong female. And that's why I feel like my friend Brian, who we've mentioned on previous podcasts,
Brian.
he loves strong female leads in movies. So I think that's why he really enjoyed this one.
So one of the first things I think most people will pick out with this movie is they changed the Predator look, the Yautja look. This is a
The
feral.
fuck is blind?
He's not blind. He can see. He's got thermal vision.
Do you like the look of this one?
I did. At first, I was kind of like, because I've been kind of following this before its release, and then I
Right.
saw the stills of what the look looks like. I'm like, well, that's not what they look like. But it is a very old species, and they have gone through their changes, which I'll get into in the regular podcast. You guys will have to tune in for that. And so making it more of a, I guess, the Neanderthal version of what the Yautja species is, I thought was kind of cool. I'm like, yeah, your eyes are more offset and not so centered. You have longer mandibles. You are taller here. This is more of
it's more of a rustic look.
Yeah.
More, it kind of fits the Great Plains theme of, in the Indian vibe, Native American, excuse me.
Word.
What? I fixed myself.
I think
I'll say midge.
Yeah,
That was unique design. It does show their evolution through the chain. I think it should have been more fierce.
Oh, it was pretty fierce, I thought.
Yeah, it was pretty. I thought it was violent as fuck.
I think it got its ass kicked a little too much. Like,
Well,
it
it's
got
new.
attacked by the coyote, that little wolf coyote thing.
Little
and it was
wolf.
getting its licks in.
It got barely.
Wasn't that one of the
Yeah.
names of the Native Americans, Little Wolf?
Not in this one.
Oh, my bad.
I mean, like, was it meant to be like a youngling into the planet to get?
That's the vibe I got.
hunt on the Yautja planet, or
That's the vibe I got.
I assume because there's different clans of Yautja, so I'm not
Right.
entirely sure where this one falls in with like the Yautjas that we are more familiar with, because we have seen several throughout the 6-7 movies before, and most
right?
of them.
And there's a whole alternate universe in the novels as well.
Yeah,
Like, where does this source material fall? Like, in the line, is this dead race? Is that?
from what I recall, the Yautja species are habitable on the planet Earth, and Earth is kind of one of the, because it does pretty much feed off the snake as far as like substance or so. Its kills, it's getting its satiation, if you will. They can eat, we've seen this in other movies before, but they don't use everything solely for trophies. It is also for survival.
so. I'm gonna have to ask this question because I don't know the past movies that well at all. What is it from the original movies that play a part in this movie?
So I was hinting on something in, well, sorry, before we go there, I also wanted to talk on like the look itself too, and then I'll progress into that. The mask itself, most Yautja, most species in all the Predator movies, they have a heavy technological like arsenal, whereas this one is more minimal. This is one of the first Predator movies where you don't see a shoulder cannon, a plasma gun.
Been for multiple. If it is a young one that earned stripes yet, the
Right.
other it was thousands of years ago, so invented it yet.
Possibly, yeah. This is also being placed for the listeners. This is set in the Prairie Plains of 1719. That's over 250 years before we see the very first introduction in the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie.
I was like, who's typing?
Ooh, it's coming
Thousands
through.
of years ago,
Yeah.
thousands of minutes ago.
So this mask, I did like its new mask after a while because like it is from the River Ghost, which we do see in the Predators movie when they go to like the different planets to hunt with
Is that the
Toby.
2010 one?
Yes, I believe so.
Around there.
Yes. So there's like a short or a very brief insert of a river ghost, which kind of mimics or looks like the face or the mask that this Yautja is wearing, the feral. But I thought that was kind of cool. Going into one of the things that ties it in, there's a lot of Easter eggs. One of the ones that I was hinting on previously before we finished our last movie review was the gun, the weapon that she
Yeah,
receives.
Oh, yeah.
So that was a throwback to Predator 2. The gun, which was rewarded to Danny Glover's character, Harrington, by the defeated Yautja's leader, the Greyback Yautja. He was one of the only people who kind of makes it into like, 2 different movies or so. But that was the same pistol that Raphael Adolini from 1715, which Naru received from the Frenchman. In this movie, he's called Dirty Raphael, which he's supposed to be a pirate. I didn't really care for his character, the change here, but I did like that they threw it in canon. They represented it, something like that. So like there's a wicked awesome throwback because in the comics, we see the Greyback as a fierce hunter who actually sought to fight Captain Raphael Adolini. Raphael Adolini as the pirate, he was pretty much looking for some treasure to bring back to his church, and his crew went against him. They didn't want to bring it back to the church. So they sought to attack him. But the Greyback in Predators 2 with Danny Glover is supposed to be that same one who teamed up with Raphael and fought off his crew before they returned their duel to each other. And at the very end, there was a hidden pirate
Donatello.
who shot Raphael in the back. And Raphael upon his last breath, looked at Greyback Yautja, and he says, take it, and giving him his weapon, which becomes a trophy, which becomes here in Prey, he's pretty much saying, take it to Naru. So somehow there's a fight or something, maybe even further into the future, where Greyback receives this weapon. So yeah, I thought that was kind of cool. That was one of the things that tied it together.
Right.
Tabe, her brother in the movie, also says something along the lines like, if it bleeds, then we can kill it, which is the exact line that Arnold Schwarzenegger says in the first one. And there's also another line where Arnold Schwarzenegger is covering himself in the mud, and he's like, he can't see me. And then when she gave one of the guys the yellow tatsuya.
And he became Black Panther.
Yeah. And I felt so bad for him too. It's like, because the yellow tatsuya is something, it's a medicinal herb that lowers your body temperature.
Yeah.
So, and since the Yautja are thermal visioners, if you will, they can't see.
Cool.
Yeah.
Color.
The coolness. They survive primarily in hotter weather, although they can survive in like the Arctic as they did in AVP, Aliens vs. Predator for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got that.
Yeah. What I did really like about this is because Naru and the Feral are pretty much leading the same lives. They are both interacting as though they need to test their strengths or challenge themselves on their own katanmiya, their own hunt. And that's pretty much the honor code that the Yautja follow, is like they are bred to be warriors. And yeah, she's doing relatively the same thing. So yeah, did you like the net? The little restricting net? That was one of the cooler.
Oh, wait.
The trap.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Wait, so that last, fight at the end, all the fight scenes were cool. I just couldn't get into like the story itself.
I know that.
Which is why I gave it a 4. Like you said, the gore was good, the violence was good, the fights were good. Like I'll just watch that.
I think that the beginning, they could have had a better opener to it.
That dog is so trained. Like
Yeah,
that
they were
dog
saying
is
like
the most loyal thing I've ever seen in my life.
and he got his tail in a trap, and she
Yeah,
went to go
poor
try to
dog.
tend to it. It's like the dog would probably like nip at your hand because it's hurt,
Yeah.
but I don't think it would have just like.
That's actually how we fixed my face too. We put some mud and dirt on it, and
Nice.
it was all better.
You were attacked by the predator?
Yeah, I might as well have.
Yeah.
We'll get into that.
Branching off back into like Predator 2. Predator 2 was the one that kind of put this into the Alien franchise. They didn't really have any connection until Predator 2. So I also don't think you would get that River Ghost helmet, if not also for the Alien franchise, because it's sort of different, but not really. You are familiar with the first one, right?
Vaguely.
Do you remember the character?
Do it.
Yeah. Do you remember the character Billy? He was a Navajo looking guy. He might have been Comanche.
I'd probably have to see a picture of him.
There is a lot of references or respects to his character. I would at least say so anyways. So at Navajo Billy in Predators, he cuts his chest to bait the predator. So when they have like this one-on-one, some people say that there was a larger fight, but the movie that we see, the fight's not in it. You just hear like a scream or so. So he goes to face him one-on-one. And I believe the director or the writer of this movie was talking about that one always kind of stayed in the back in his mind. And it's like, what if there was like a Native American fight against a predator? Because you do have like a Yakuza fighting. You have like a tribal African guy fighting, and a different one. You have the Russian here and there. So there's different nations or so. How would they fight against something as trained as a alien hunter? But so
I got wrecked.
Yeah.
in Predator 1, he cuts his chest. When Tabe gets captured by the French people, the Frenchmen's, they cut his chest pretty much in the exact same spot. So I would want to say that was a throwback to him.
Or coincidence.
There was also a fan theory that Naru and Billy from the first one are related because they are both excellent trackers. They're Native American and carry a medicinal bag, and they also have like black under their eye as war paint, which doesn't necessarily mean anything, but that's most any tribals. Yeah, the predators and also the hunters and the tribes huntsmen. It's like you want to hunt something that is hunting you because that makes it all the more like big game type of things. Although not all big game, they'll stand from afar and shoot something dead in the desert, in the Sahara desert. Not so much. I was expecting John to say something.
I'm sorry. I was getting into the story I was reading on the Predators, that gun you were just talking about.
So like the weapons,
Like it said,
there's that restricting net. There's a laser bolts. There's the expandable arm shield, which is also a blade, auto blades that decimate
it almost
anything.
cut her fucking throat.
The spear, which can be broken down to a long katana-like blade. Is
that controlled mentally?
See, I wasn't entirely sure.
One, like when she went to go stab him or whatever, and it like resisted the spear. So when it like broke, when he was against the tree or whatever, she went to like stab him and it like stopped or something.
It was his wrist blade. She used the wrist blade, which also acts as a shield. And I thought that was a pretty cool look because it's kind of different from your traditional Yautja armor garment, the shield. It looks really cool, I thought. And that it's sharp enough to also be a blade, which in almost every single Predator movie, you see a Yautja getting their arm cut off. And this was no different. You see, like when she has him backed up against the tree, she strikes him. He tries to block it with his wrist shield and then severs his own arm. So Yautja have like really high pain tolerance because they usually can put that aside, compartmentalize.
Why does their blood look like when you break a glow stick open?
Their luminescence blood. That's their blood. Yes.
Speaking of Yautjas, Lonnie, are you with us?
At every third word.
It's like, this is frustrating. Are we gonna have to go video?
Have you tried through your phone?
You gotta
Okay, hold on a sec.
you gotta say your words 3 times. Have, you.
What's a grayback?
Ooh.
Grayback is one of the elder Yautja.
Yeah, it says elder predator obtained the pistol. That's what I was reading when you were talking about that thing.
It's one of the.
This is the highest rated Predator movie in the entire franchise.
I feel like it's up there with.
We didn't give the Rotten Tomatoes score, did we?
No.
That's the phone.
Oh, you're so much clearer now.
You are actually clear.
Oh,
This
there
is
we go.
way better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it better? Okay,
Yeah.
hold on.
I'm glad I suggested that.
Is that better?
Oh
And
yeah.
you're clearer picture-wise, too.
You're so crisp.
Okay, cool.
Oh,
And
100% better.
now I can use my computer for research.
There you go.
Sweet research.
Yeah, this is way better. wait till you hear it on the podcast.
So yeah, I don't know how the listeners are catching Lonnie's audio with this. We just tried something else, so things are going to sound
we
a
tried
little bit
switching
different.
to his phone, so
You're hearing more than every third word, right?
I think it works now.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
This is 100%.
That's a good idea that you went to that payphone in Bali.
Yeah. What are you on a potato now? You're not on the cricket?
Yeah.
Okay.
I went out to the Wi-Fi
Look,
fridge.
even the video is clear.
Yeah, he's clearer than me. And I'm on a,
clearer
Don't
than
make fun of
Jeff.
that shit. We spent a lot of time playing on one of those.
You're clearer than us on the video. Of course, this video.
Well, it's because I'm more beautiful. But anyway, back to the prey.
yes.
I'm ready
So-
to give what I change about it when we get there.
Yes, I got a few more notes here. So there was that coyote. There was another return of that coyote after it was
Well, he was hiding from the Roadrunner.
not that one.
Oh, sorry.
Meet.
So one of the first kills that we
one
see.
that they had their battle with.
Yes, one of the first kills we see is the feral going up against a coyote, another feral. And
Will?
Nope, not that one. Nope. He pretty much takes
Was
it
this
down.
what I was missing? Like
Yeah.
these bad jokes and
Yep.
Justin stumbling over words? Because I'll go back.
Go to your corner.
God, no, let's not go back.
So right before Tabe gets murdered, he takes a coyote skull and like bites it into the feral's leg. So it's kind of a throwback.
I forgot.
So
yeah.
right, you get what you
Because that was hanging from his leg, right? Because he attached it.
I don't know
after-
exactly. It might have been. I don't know
Yeah. 'Cause I
how
was
it
like,
got
why
there.
is he just collecting skulls now or whatever?
Well, they're trophy hunters, so skulls are
Right.
usually one of the bigger things. And like animal skulls, like mostly Yautja who carry spears are more trained. They're more skilled. They're a little bit not necessarily elite, but they are blooded. They are the ones who have received their kills. So this is not a new mission from earlier. Yautja and most clans travel in packs of 3. But if you're trained and more efficient enough, you can do your solo missions, and they rely heavily on like the stealth. That was another throwback to when Tabe was actually fighting him, and he just turned on the stealth and went invisible, cloaked himself, and he screamed in Comanche. He's saying like you're a fucking cheater, probably minus the fucking
basically.
yeah. It's like face me. But yeah. So there was a few really cool, meaningful scenes in this. There was a part where she was trying to.
Which ones?
Let me get there, man.
I love that Lonnie's back.
Let me get there. So the part where she's cleaning off the blood in the water right before she goes and hunts the Frenchman, meaning like she needs to look deeper with herself, and like she drives her hands deeper into the water to try to like
She
grab onto
gave that
something more.
same amount of. She gave the same amount of love and compassion when she was rubbing the fucking mud off her blades. Like,
Well, she was crying, dude. It was very passionate. And then I also like that part where all the women are kind of going to their daily needs, their daily jobs. And like that overhead shot of seeing all the women going one direction and she's going between them, going the opposite direction. I thought that was very powerful scene visually.
I thought another powerful scene that you are leaving out was when the end credits started to roll.
Shut the fuck
Man,
up.
I've never been so moved to grab a remote and turn something else on.
I did. I mean, I know you like this movie, but I literally took an hour and a half break because I was like, I got to like get into a better mental state to try and watch this movie.
The thing is, Justin watched this movie 3 or 4 times.
Just twice.
Oh, wow.
Twice more.
I couldn't wait for this movie to get over so I could start Cobra Kai.
Like I said, it's not the worst movie ever made.
It's probably one of the better Predator
it's not
movies.
even one of his worst choices.
Well, this is the second lowest movie I've ever gave a rating for.
Yeah, this is my lowest.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
This is my lowest rating. And it's, like to each their own. Like, I get it. It's just, I personally thought the story was very hard to get.
When did they start? When did they start making this movie? When was it a concept that let's do a prequel to the Predator movies?
I don't know exactly when, but like the earlier description of what I was telling you, like when they saw the first one, and it's like, what would a Native American fight between a predator would look like?
Well, because I feel like this movie is like most these days where they have an idea and in less than 6 months it's done and completed. I feel they rushed it. I know I'm not like a fan at all of the Predator movies and I've only saw the first one, but as somebody that hasn't seen them, for me to get this feeling tells you something. I just feel like it was rushed and they could have done way better with it.
Definitely with the CGI.
And I don't know if it's because it's Hulu.
CGI.
Like maybe Hulu had them under contract. Like, hey, we want to be the first to get this before somebody else does. So you got less than a year to get this completed.
Yeah, I didn't pull much of the technicals with all that. I don't know how long it lasted. I felt like it's a really well done story. I think it's pretty basic. Woman trying to become a hunter.
Moana and Pocahontas.
She's trying to become a hunter. She falls upon something that is much bigger, different than what anything has ever or anybody in their tribe knows. And then she ends up hunting it, and it's kind of hunting her as well. So it goes with what they believe is like honorable. But yeah, and then there's like its little pitfalls as far as like, the poachers, they come in and they pretty much fuck up their whole homestead by skinning all the buffalo and just killing for sport and ruining everything. Even the predator sees that as dishonorable. It's like there was nothing about that was righteous or worthy of anything.
Right, because the predator's there to fight
something that's
threats.
worthy to
Yeah, threats.
And that's kind of a crappy
Buffalo's
thing.
not really a threat.
That's kind of a crappy thing when it comes to being top of your line. It's like you don't choose. Like it's think of it back in. Well, we'll get further into this. I want to save this for the actual podcast. We'll stick primarily just on this.
Wait a second.
Shut up.
Do you guys want the Rotten Tomatoes scores on this, by the way?
What is the scores?
So critics gave it a 93%.
Nice.
And viewers gave it a 72. So that means 7 out of 10 people liked it. 3 of those people are not in this room right now. Well,
one of us.
One's via satellite.
Indonesia.
I also thought there was a really cool homage.
Does that surprise you, Lonnie? Those scores?
Surprise me?
Yeah.
That was a really well liked movie.
A lot of people, when it first came out, were loving it. Now,
Yeah.
a lot of that might be the critic hype.
Right.
because they're usually the first view stuff.
Well, yeah, they gave it a 93.
I'm not surprised that this movie. I think a lot of people might have went into it thinking there should be more fan service, which there was a lot of. Because I mean, at Predator, what are we at? 46 at this point.
According to
You'd
Justin, it's
expect it-
7.
You'd expected it to be more campy at this point. Like, alien movies are starting to not take themselves seriously. Why would Predator movies take themselves seriously still?
Right.
Some of them have been a little bit. There's a hard cheese fest with some of the other ones, but when they change things out of its own element, I don't necessarily don't like that. I think it
Well,
kind of
they
offers
can't-
a lot.
They can't go to space. Like, what are they going to do?
Well, they already did. That's when the chest burster comes out of the Scar Predator and becomes like the Predalien.
Predalien.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll get into that later.
I want to see a human bust out of an alien.
A human bust out of an alien? I don't think
Yeah.
we work like that yet.
Then,
get there.
then I'll know they jumped the shark.
Like
Yeah.
Jim Carrey and Ace Ventura.
Now, there's another really cool homage, or lineage in this movie. So the actress David Mid-Thunder, he's lent his likeness to the Mortal Kombat franchise as Nightwolf. If you remember, there's also a secret character you play, which is a Yautja. Not in that same game where he lent his likeness. This is Naru, Amber Mid-Thunder. Her dad was Nightwolf. Also, Arnold Schwarzenegger was in that same game with the Yautja, with the Predator. So there's also both of those kind of throwbacks. So it's kind of stayed in the family as far as like the attachment to. I thought that was kind of cool. A little full circle. Another really cool thing at the very end where she gets the upper hand on, the final kill where Naru kills the Yautja. Spoiler alert, she wins. So there's a legend.
does
And
she-
quicksand exists, which when I was younger, I thought that'd be a lot more of a threat than it is today.
She struggled. You can see Atreyu in there and
Bless you.
or what's his name? The horse in the swamp of sadness.
What?
You're talking about Never Ending Story?
Yeah.
Oh,
Never
you're talking
ending
about Fern Gully.
This motherfucker over here can't get any movie references that aren't comedies from the early 2000s or fucking horror. But
Are you talking about
you
Jeremy?
make a never-ending story reference, and he pops off like a fucking firework on the 4th of July. Yeah, that one, not you. Fuck you.
Oh,
That one.
what? Lonnie's
That guy?
angry
Wow.
today. We have a mute button. Right?
Yeah. So there's another legend in the Comanche where
I
they
like
believe
Lonnie better when he was on his other device.
you can't hear him. So, anyways, in the Comanche beliefs, they believe that like whistling at night is bad luck. It kind of wishes for evil spirits and the skinwalkers,
Brings
stuff like that.
coyotes.
Yeah. So it's actually referred into like a lot of native cultures.
I'm glad
So-
you're bringing this up because this was on my notes to bring up next. So go ahead.
All right. So at the very end, where she's encountering the Frenchman, the leader of the Frenchmen, the last survivor,
French fur trappers.
French fur trappers.
It didn't exist until 178 years later, but
Thank
let's
you.
get into that.
So realistic. Did you find that at the zoo?
Thousands.
I don't know why you're hating on my zoo knowledge over here. Jesus.
So at the very end, when she looks him dead in the eye after she's ate the last of like her yellow tatsia.
And became the Black Panther.
Yes, this is pretty much her reference to Arnold Schwarzenegger. Arnold Schwarzenegger camouflaged himself with the mud. She camouflages herself with the medicinal herb that slows down her.
Would that
blood.
drop the body temperature that much?
She
though?
should be freezing, but she's a freaking
I
warrior.
mean, I guess if mud can cover up Arnold Schwarzenegger, I guess we can suspend our disbelief for this.
And then she looks at him dead in the eye and she whistles at night, which brings the Skinwalker, which is the Yautja. The Skinwalker is pretty much a shapeshifter in the Native American culture, and the Yautja fits the description.
On that note, with that scene, when she puts the makeup on herself with her finger, it's like all crooked and stuff. Then it goes to him and then it goes back to her. It's like on there all perfect and straight. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? That's bullshit.
Makeup?
Yeah.
The whole thing was the makeup?
Yeah. It was just, that annoyed me. Things like that annoy me.
Yeah, there's a lot of continuity errors in this.
One of the biggest things that I
Like
didn't
that
really...
guy's leg.
Yeah.
When he got cut off, like the different scene, it's his left leg, and then there was another scene where both legs were on. Like I was like, did Hulu even edit this movie together?
Did they Mr. Potato Head him?
Right? What
Yeah.
the fuck?
Right on. That was pretty much all of my notes I had on that. I really liked it because it's showcasing the I don't know. Like you don't, in most Predator movies, I don't go into it like, that's the bad guy. It's like, no, he's doing what he's supposed to do. He's doing what he's bred to do. Or she, because there are female Predators as well.
I feel like this one was a guy, though.
Huh?
I felt like this one was a guy.
Yes.
I assumed his gender.
His man nippies.
Where's Chris Hansen when you need him?
Yeah, he was wearing less clothing, like more of a loincloth.
Yeah. That's
well, I mean, other ones do wear loincloths here and there, like the Jungle Hunter from the Arnold one.
obviously.
The Arnold one.
Do it now.
And she says the same line. Do it. That was one of the things that I didn't really understand is like the helmet doesn't look like it's technological advanced. It looks like it's just a skull.
Yeah.
But it has something in it where if it catches sight or movement, it can sense its tracking. I'm like, how is that working? Because
That's what I was wondering at the end. I was like, how the fuck?
the bolts track. So if he pointed and shot, it just went all the way around and then
I mean, it was a cool way
effect. Yeah,
it was cool. I just didn't understand the logistics behind it.
I like the idea that like you don't have to be stronger. You just have to be smarter. So in that part where her and her brother are tied up, that's the part I was talking about, how it was kind of a knock on the actor because his name is Dakota Beavers. And she's talking about how like she saw a beaver bite off its own arm just to escape being captured. And she puts her hand over the bear trap and it goes to cut the rope. And she's like, well, I'm smarter than a beaver. Pretty much smarter than Dakota Beavers.
Also, when they're going to let her walk away, when they finally find her or whatever, they're like, you're going to let you walk away. And then she turns and that dude just decks her in the fucking face. I was like, oh. Lonnie, you...
Yeah.
Besides Aubrey Plaza, what is your favorite part of this movie? Say something positive about this movie.
Okay.
He acts like he's in trouble.
Right.
No,
10
I'm
sentences.
just trying to think of what I enjoyed the most. There was a lot of things that I did like.
What was that 3 out of 10 that you liked?
What gave it the 3?
Yeah.
I thought the Yautja was creative. Like I said, there's so many different universes and so many different kind of branches off the tree that started happening to the Yautja with each different canon. It was unique to see a different one. What changes have happened, sure, but I liked it. I liked the creature design. Yeah. Indians.
Do we want to talk about what we would change then? Or you got any more notes, Justin?
I did have a favorite, least favorite. So somebody in they give it a 1 star. So that's your favorite, least favorite. So it says, the worst Predator movie ever made. I feel like cracking my skull open, pulling my brain out and washing it off this complete dump. An arrogant, pompous, conceited, utterly obnoxious Mary Sue leads this trash of a movie instead of the Predator as it advertised, because this movie is not about him. It's about this short, axe-wielding and stick arrow-shooting teenage girl who can fight off and defeat the strongest warrior, a group of Frenchmen, and a Predator without a scratch. I hated her so much that I couldn't stand watching this hair-raising, atrocious flick. There was a very long details in between, but they wrapped it up with cartoonish CGI, unlikable main character, forgettable supporting characters, disrespectful to both native and French, very thin story, awful acting, sloppy writing and characterization, and a lot of gaping plot holes mark this garbage. Prey 2022 is an abominable catastrophe, no matter what the woke
Starting to sound like Lonnie.
and biased Rotten Tomatoes score and mainstream media say. Such a travesty, such a disappointment, such an insulting adaptation for the fans in the original. Worst Predator movie. I kind of think it might
Let's get that person on the podcast.
I think it might be almost better than the original because I did really like the acting. There wasn't like a suck off fest like how it did in the first one. Like, with the what does he call it? The more popular meme where the Arnold is doing the little arm flex and stuff with his buddy. I forget the guy's name. But yeah, and Jean-Claude Van Damme was supposed to be in the first one and he fucked himself up with all that. And yeah, it was very cheesy, that first one. This one I thought was a lot easier, more realistic. And I like how they used like a more of a reflection of
more realistic.
Yeah, it was fucking real. Minus the CGI. There was also people talking about how they didn't like how they were not speaking in, their native tongue, which they did. They did record 2 versions of this, one in English and one in Comanche. And it's like, well, you're supposed to also suspend your reality. They start the movie off in Comanche and then they switch to English. There was like an intro in Comanche and then they switch it. So it's like the viewers, it's supposed to be pushed to English speaking audience. So you understand that you are in this tribe, understanding them.
Right. You got to suspend stuff
So
like that with movie. Like we were talking about that.
When it came to Raphael saying that he speaks Comanche and then he goes over to her and starts speaking English, it's like, well, he's speaking. It's supposed to be him speaking her native tongue. But yeah, people got very confused. They're like, I don't understand it. It's like, it's a very simple concept. You not understanding that says a lot about you.
So what would you change?
What would I change? CGI. That's it, pretty much. One of my favorite scenes was Tobey fighting the Yautja. Like, he fucking went off on him. Her trying to adapt to the surroundings because Tobey is one of the hunters who pretty much faces straight on. Like, and she is looking around to her surroundings, and she uses like the swamp, the quicksand. She uses the traps and all this, whereas other people would just do it straight on. So I like the tactics in this. I did like the Yautja just went vicious when he was ripping apart all the Frenchmen.
Right, that's why I went up. Like that, like I said, that whole scene, once they were captured by the fur traders, that like 30-minute span, I was like, all right, now I'm into this movie.
And the soundtrack I thought was pretty good too.
Yeah, it is a good score.
Especially that part.
I didn't mind the soundtrack at all.
Or the scoring of it, I guess. The score, especially like when he gets caught up in the quicksand and then he starts rising out of it. I'm like, oh shit. Yeah. Like that. It came from like a, how would I say? Like a soundscape into like a very piercing, like, do something.
Abrupt. What about you, Jeremy?
I'll keep it simple. I would have went with a different production company to produce it. I don't think Hulu was the right person for the job to fund it, back it, release it. I think
how do they not have the same money Netflix does? Like, it's just mind-boggling. Although I say that as I have a free Hulu subscription thanks to Spotify, so I think I answered my own question.
I don't know. I don't think anybody else probably wanted to make this movie because they probably feel like it didn't really need to be done. And
I think a lot of people do shy away from, because most people will shit on it. They're like the fans who like the Predator, because Predator is probably one of my favorite. If you look at my collection of like toys and stuff, Predator is probably up there with like my Deadpool.
And I get it. And I mean, I hope you don't take offense to me not liking it, but this is not my cup
words
of tea.
In the parking lot.
I like the first Predator.
For instance, for me, like I love the Karate Kid movies, so I love the Cobra Kai series. So other people watch Cobra Kai that maybe didn't watch the original for Karate Kid, well, 3, because I don't count the one with the girl, the 4th one, part of the series, but they probably would watch the Cobra Kai series and be like, what is this garbage? And that's kind of where I'm at with this, because I saw the first Predator when I was probably like 6, 7, 8 years old. Don't remember much about it. I work with a Predator statue at my job. We've got that's all I know.
I wanted that, but people touched it too much that the hand fell off.
And it's like $1,000.
But yeah, more than that. It's like 4,000, 5,000. But I'm not going to get into detail about what I would change, because we would add another 45 minutes to this podcast. I'll just say, I think a different company should have produced it.
What about you, Lonnie?
What I would do to this movie.
What would you do?
Well, that was the question.
Sorry, I thought I heard my truck running and I was confused.
He's mobile.
I hate being mobile. I think I would make the franchise more campy at this point, like I said. I don't think it needs to be taking itself that seriously now. The people who like it are going to like it, but it's not going to attract any new fans.
That's what I like about the Halloween movies. They're just campy as fuck anymore. They're just like, fuck it.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. The Halloween ends, I'm not really thrilled about that.
Halloween's like the Saw series to me now. Like, as long as the traps are cool, like the kills are cool. Right. All right. You know, I go to that to watch something campy and cool kills. Like, I don't go for Oscar winning story writing or anything like that.
Yeah. And I'm afraid that's what this movie was. So like the people like Justin who like the franchise and all the other people who like this type of this would love it. I'm sure it fits right in their canon. I'm sure it's going to do great when the next one comes out, and the next one down the line, that's 3 movies. But like you guys said, if they came out with a Nightmare on Elm Street 13, but it stayed in the same timeline, absolutely, I love it.
Kevin Bacon.
Yeah.
Or Andy Dick.
Andy Dickhead.
No, fuck Andy Dick. I don't even care. At this point, it could be Nightmare on Elm Street with fucking Beto O'Rourke, and I'd still watch it.
Wow.
That was off the...
Did you hurt yourself there? Jesus.
Because I watched a series on fucking Netflix about video games, and there was a game called Gay Blade, and the final villain was Beto O'Rourke, and or not Beto. Fuck, I don't know who it was. Sorry, that drugs are kicking in. I don't remember.
Thanks.
There is a
You
sequel
can-
in the works, by the way.
Pat, you can't.
Thank you. John.
I think you guys all hit it on the head. The production was kind of crap. I would change, since you guys said that, I'll go somewhere different. I would change the story to be more than the generic girl can't tag along with the boys.
I don't think
thing.
it was pressed, but I don't think it was like, there's so many comments who was saying like it was so woke. It's like, no, it's
it's not that
really
woke. It's just cliche is the word I would use.
It could be.
I don't know. I would change the story. I feel like they could have went better with it. I'm not opposed to a strong female lead. Like I enjoyed that part of it. I enjoyed the kill. Like Lonnie said, make it more campy. Make it something we could just be like, yeah, fuck it. Let's go watch the new Predator movie. That'll be entertaining. Doesn't have to be good to be entertaining.
So-
Look at Batman versus Robin. That's not a good movie at all. But you can sit with your
Amazing.
friends and be like, this is fucking movie though.
What's his name? Christopher. Fuck. Yeah. Anyways,
Who?
I don't know.
Christopher what?
Whatever. I don't know his name. I forgot it.
For what?
Batman and Robin. The Batman versus Robin. Whatever.
Are you talking about Christopher Nolan?
No.
Okay.
No. I'm talking about the
Are you talking about Robin?
Christopher Lloyd?
yeah the guy who played Robin.
Yeah, what is his name? Now I can't think of it.
It's Christopher something. I thought.
Christopher Reeves?
No. Lonnie, help us out. Who played Robin?
The guy who in the original Batman.
No, Batman and Robin. I am embarrassed
With the nipples.
because National Batman Day is tomorrow, and I'm
No,
celebrating.
like my thing is, they had the perfect opportunity with this movie.
Chris O'Donnell.
because,
Jesus
uh,
Christ.
Mike Pat,
No.
yeah,
Was
Chris
it O'Donnell?
Yeah, it's
but-
Chris O'Donnell.
The guy from Stand By Me?
Sure.
That's Jerry O'Donnell. Never mind. O'Connell. Never mind.
Yeah, that's
What is
Jerry
happening
O'Donnell.
right now?
We're trying to figure shit out on the spot.
We're trying to figure out
With computers in front
I
of
was-
us.
why Damian Wayans wasn't Robin like he was supposed to be in Michael Keaton's
Missed
universe.
opportunity.
Because Joel Schumacher sucks.
All right,
R.I.P.
so, John, you got the next movie for episode BPTMR 23. 4. Fuck. Yep. Go.
Do you guys want an action comedy or a drama comedy?
Whatever one's better.
God, jeez.
No, I want opinions. I have
Action
two.
Or drama?
Action
Action
comedy.
comedy. One action comedy. What about you, Lonnie?
I'm only hearing every third word again, so I'm gonna go with comedy.
Yeah, action comedy or drama comedy.
Well, you said action comedy first, so I'm gonna go with the other
All
one.
right, so we are gonna do.
I was going to do action. So
Are you
2-1.
Yeah, I think
Or
I already
3.
told you guys what it was. Hold on, I gotta figure out what year it was. I don't want.
Wait, I said go with the other one,
Yeah, fuck off.
not the action.
Yeah, you're 2 against 1, though.
All right. So
No, my
next
voice counts. My
month
voice
we are. Shut up! Your voice counts as half because we can only hear half of what you're saying.
I've said it 4 times at this point, so that counts for more.
I'll fill it in.
Anyway, next month we are gonna do 2016's The Nice Guys with
Huh.
Ryan Gosling and Russell Crowe.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
It is a 70s buddy cop movie, basically. That's pretty funny. I've recommended it to friends recently, and they were real high on it. So I was like, let's discuss it.
So we
It's
have
currently
to
on
discuss it.
Netflix. So
We'll do it sober.
I know.
Sorry.
I picked a movie on purpose that was available, so we didn't have to buy shit.
You didn't have to buy this one if you had a Hulu.
Thanks to Spotify, I do. Speaking of Spotify, you can hear our podcast right on Spotify.
So
Give me more free things, Spotify.
Tune in and dial up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
On that note,
Let's go fix Lonnie.
Good luck.
he cannot be fixed. We do not have the tools to rebuild him, to make him
I was
stronger,
gonna
faster.
say that's taking a lot of people, a lot of money, a lot of tries.
I think you're fucking people up on purpose.
So what's coming up on our other podcast? What topics?
Other topics.
We're going to discuss where I was last month.
Ooh.
What happened?
Dun,
We're going to
dun.
talk about what you guys have been doing. Well, all of us, actually. And then apparently we're going to talk a little wrestling.
Oh, shit. And then Justin's topic.
Yes.
And then Justin's going to expand more on this prey topic, I guess.
Not so much Prey, but more on the idea of
Predator franchise.
Part 17 on body shaming. Coming soon.
Boom. Thank you guys for listening. If you liked or disliked the movie, let us know.
Oh, I had a review. Oh, well.
You heard more of the podcast
Sorry, Mark.
than I did.
Go ahead.
Oh,
We're going to
you
have to do
know,
the...
Well, you have to do the... All right.
We're
Do you want
going
me to read Mark's?
We're going to tone this down. We need a live review. Go.
Sorry. So, Mark Lemon, thanks for sending this in. He's one of the Mighty Morphin Boss Tones.
Nope. Not even close.
So,
Mighty Misfit
Prey.
Kings.
He said, I enjoyed the new Predator movie. At first, I couldn't get down with the Predator killing animals that weren't a threat to him. But then after seeing how small, air quotes, the Predator was compared to Arnie's Predator, I assumed he was a young Predator in training. That's what that's what Lonnie just said. He brought that up. It was probably a youngling. He said, I liked the Native American girl because she's brown and turned out to be a badass. Glad them rednecks were they rednecks back then? Question mark.
They're
I'm
French.
reading this word for word, by the way.
We'll do
Got
French
theirs.
rednecks.
Justin Milani said, praise sucked. Fuck Justin. That is all. Keep praising your light. One race. Thank you, Mark, for that.
Thank you
Sorry, I
for
almost
agreeing
forgot.
with
So
me.
he
I had
gave,
it pulled up on my phone, but we've been on my laptop.
so
since.
Mark gave it a BPT rating of 1, so that changes the...
He liked it.
Nah,
That's
he
what I
liked
heard.
it. He liked it.
That
So.
changed our BBT rating to
Joe O'Connor liked it too.
No.
But
8. Thank you.
okay.
Nope.
5.8.
Yeah.
All right. On
Let's
that
go
note,
record some different shit.
I love you guys.
Where is my monster?
I'm going to go for my katamiya, my big hunt.
What?
I got to go to the bathroom.
Oh, well.
Okay.
I already took my headphones off.
All right. Have a good one.
Oh, and in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
This concludes our broadcast day. Click.